We're live. Well, not live, but recording.
Right.
So, I'm Hotel Nerd,
A movie loves unite.
and just to get some housekeeping out of the way real quick, we apologize for not being able to do anything last week, but everything went in turmoil. This is the one-on-one interview that we were going to do last week, but uh, weather on my end kind of threw everything out of whack. So, wonderful Pennsylvania summer. But John, how you doing? It's been a little bit.
Yeah, I've been doing all right, man. I just been keeping busy. I was on ACS Universe YouTube channel yesterday and everything, and then I ended up subscribing to Shutter recently. So I'm
Nice.
doing. Yeah, I actually checked out a new movie called Summer of '84, which came out like in 2018. But it was actually pretty good for like a little horror film that came out. It was really good.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get Shutter. It's just I haven't got to it yet because
Well, uh,
seeing I just haven't had the time to sign up for it.
right. The good thing is, I actually have a 30-day subscription because of the promotion code that I actually had. So I got like 30 days free. Whenever you do sign up, you only get like 7 days free.
All right.
So
Yeah, I forget. I can't remember the name of the show that I wanted to watch that made me want to get Shutter.
Creep
Greg
Show.
Nicotero
Mm,
is the one that's creating it. It's a remake.
it's Creep Show, right?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the one that
Because
I
that's why I
wanted to
wanted
watch.
it. Yeah.
So that, and occasionally I get in the mood to watch horror movies. Speaking of which, I watched Doctor Sleep Director's Cut.
Oh, what did you think? Because I actually own it.
10 for 10.
It's definitely.
10 for 10s very often. I love Doctor Sleep.
Now you see why I kept on watching it, because there's like a lot of information that's in that film that you might miss. And not only that, but the writing is just fantastic. Yes, it's a sequel to The Shining, but at the same time, its own little entity, its own little movie.
But it's
You know,
one of those rarities where the sequel, pun intended here, outshines the original.
definitely. And all the problems that Stephen King had with the first movie, I think it's actually been redeemed, because you actually see his son's story arc the way that Stephen King wanted
Mm-hmm.
that Nicholson story arc take
Yep.
place. So you
If
actually
I
get to
remember correctly,
see.
in the book, doesn't Jack's character, doesn't he die in the boiler room?
He actually does die in the boiler room. As a matter of fact, he doesn't
I mean,
freeze
spoiler alert
outside.
here for Doctor Sleep, but I mean, I
Well,
guess
we can just say
it
there's certain
sounds
things
painful.
that took place. I mean, we can do it like this. There's certain things that took place that actually covers that part of the ending in Doctor Sleep
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And I think it's definitely one of my favorite movies that I actually got to check out back in November when this movie came out.
The main thing that
And
took me, the main thing that took me out of the movie, and it really wasn't even for big moments, was when they showed his mom, because she didn't look anything like the original mom in The Shining. Then again, we're also talking a movie that was made what 30 plus years ago. So
right, so they actually had to get someone that's kind of looks like Shelley Duvall and everything, but not too much like her.
yeah. Now the
But
person that the kid that played young Danny, he was pretty damn close.
I agree. He definitely did a fantastic job at playing Danny, and then also too, don't forget, in the Shining book, Dick doesn't even die. Dick isn't dead. So in the movie, Dick is actually dead, and Shelley Duvall's character is still alive. And after a little bit of after all the events that happened in that hotel and everything, Shelley Duvall does wind up dying and passing away. But it's but Dick is still kind of like the voice of reason for Danny and everything. So they did do that right in the very beginning, because Dick is just a ghost and he's not, in his normal human. You know what I'm saying? He's a ghost. He's not there physically with Danny in the movie, but in the book of Dr. Sleep,
there's only one part that made me jump in that entire movie, and that was when right after, I don't know, maybe you didn't see this or not, because I watched the director's cut 3 hours long, so I don't know
I did too,
theatrical or not, but where the lady that he meets at the bar ends up dying in the bed beside him, and then he leaves the baby there. And then, I guess it's 2 or 3 nights later, he has a vision of her in his apartment saying about they haven't found us yet. And, at first you don't realize who it is that is talking to him. And then you see the baby, and it's like, oh, shit. It scared, it got me to jump.
Let's see here. In the book, he does wind up taking money from her. He doesn't leave the money behind or anything like that.
And in the director's cut, in the director's cut, he didn't leave the money behind.
Right. And he even argues with the caretaker.
Yep.
And everything too. Get this though, in the book, he's arguing with his mother. And he said, well, she's not going to need it or anything. She's not going to need that money or anything. This is probably my money anyways. And so throughout the couple of chapters, that one part actually sticks with him because of his conscience. Because he knew he did something wrong, and it's just haunting him over and over and over again.
Yeah.
In the book. But I did like the fact that they did put that in there because of the fact that, it shows that Danny's is going down the same road that Jack is, but 10 times worse than what Jack did.
Yeah. I like the True Knot though. That was a good villain faction.
I agree. Rose the Hat was definitely a standout villain and was someone that you didn't want to mess with. Oh, God.
I know. I have to look.
Is it Rose McGowan?
I know.
I don't know.
Hang on. I'm pulling up IMDb real quick.
Okay. But you said that one part with the kid made you jump. The part that gave me goosebumps was when Abra grabs her. When she's staring at the reflection in the window, in the window of the the grocery store.
The grocery store? Or?
Yeah, the grocery store scene.
Yeah, and I knew that was coming because they showed it in the trailer.
Right, I knew that was coming, but the way they actually did it, though, there's a difference between watching a trailer and watching it in its full context. And the way that they did
it. Rose the Hat is Rebecca Ferguson.
Okay, Rebecca Ferguson.
And I'm going to be really stupid here for a minute and do a little bit more of a deep dive because I'm having a brain stupid moment here.
But another...
She's big into Mission Impossible movies. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I've seen her in? I know that name. And I don't know. Greatest Showman. She played Jenny Lynn.
Oh, okay.
That's where I know her from. I knew her from somewhere.
Oh, okay. But what did you think of the part where Abra goes on it? She's in Abra's head.
That was awesome.
That was actually cool.
Where she was in Abra's head and then Abra got into her head and
yeah.
I'll be honest, that was the cringe moment in that movie for me is when her hand got stuck in the filing cabinet.
Yeah, that part made me cringe.
I could feel it. Oh,
that skin tear. I'm like, Yeah, you can drink a lot of the shine, but
Oh,
you're not going to be able to recover from
now,
that.
thinking about that makes me cringe. But yeah. Also, another movie I watched was Scoob.
You see, I wanted to watch that on HBO Max, but my stuff keeps on buffering to the point where I can't even watch it.
There's so many people watching it. That's why.
I tried doing that. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch Doom Patrol and finish off that series. I couldn't even watch Doom Patrol because of that.
I know one of the issues that HBO Max is having is I think they're having an overload on their app.
I think they need to update. I think they need to update their servers.
Yeah,
is the main thing.
Yeah, they definitely need to be doing something because it's annoying. I mean, the service is great, but it's annoying.
It really is. For me to watch an hour episode of Doom Patrol is taking me 2 hours to watch an episode of Doom Patrol. So I go back to Netflix and I watch The Order. That was actually pretty good.
I haven't watched that one yet. I know I want to watch Game of Thrones, but I just haven't watched it yet because I don't want to deal with the buffering issues.
Well, do you have HBO Go? Because HBO Go is still a thing right now, and you don't have to worry about any type of buffering issues with the HBO Go app.
My Go, because I have it on my PlayStation, my Go immediately segregated over to the Max.
Oh wow, mine didn't.
Yeah, mine integrated right over into the Max.
Oh, okay.
So I know some people that it did that for, and there was other people that it didn't. Because I see a 50-50 split on that. Like half of us got immediately integrated over, and then the other half is still have both.
Yeah, with me, I'm still struggling with trying to watch HBO Max, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take a break until they update their servers and everything, and go from there. But how was Scoob?
Really good, very very good. The soundtrack's amazing. I found my favorite song so far of 2020 in that soundtrack.
What song was that?
I Fly.
I'll have to check it out once we get off.
It's really good. Yeah, I would play it here, but we would get flagged.
Yeah, that's why I said I'll check it out later.
So, but I got it off of Amazon streaming. I had that whole soundtrack. That soundtrack, all in itself, is a very good soundtrack. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of Hanna-Barbera crossovers.
Oh wow! How's the animation style though? I know that was the biggest thing that we were worried about.
It works. It works very well, actually. I'll be honest. For about the first 5 minutes, like where you see in the trailer with them being kids, it's a little wonky. But after that, I mean, it's decent.
That's good. I'm glad that the animations actually worked out for its own thing for that world for Scoob.
Yeah, they have a lot of Hanna-Barbera crossovers, which is really nice. At first I was worried about it, and it's like, well, I don't understand how you're able to do this. And then I watched it the second time. I was like, okay, now I understand what you're doing. So. And Mark Wahlberg plays he's the voice of Blue Falcon.
Oh, that's perfect.
And Lian Yu is Dynamite.
I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to watch it soon and everything.
It's funny. It's really funny. The one joke's really good, and it's not even a spoiler alert. It's where the villain goes and says to Fred, he's like, "I'm taking discount Hemsworth," and Fred's like, "Hey," and then he's like, "Wait, Chris or Liam?"
I love that. That's actually a nice little tidbit. I like that.
It's like it's definitely culturally aware of where and when it is.
Right, you can definitely tell it's a 2020 movie.
Yeah,
That's great. At least they actually know what it's going for.
it's not like it's dated. And there's a lot of Easter eggs too. The second watch, I noticed a bunch of movie posters, and the one I saw that was the Hex Sisters from Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Oh, I love that episode.
Yeah, there is a lot of poster Easter eggs you got to watch out for in the background.
All right, I'm pretty much sold on that now. With the order that I'm watching is actually pretty good. It's about this kid who goes into this college looking for this secret society that supposedly killed his mother. And so his grandfather is trying to seek revenge on that secret society. And then you also have werewolves who are also against that society as well. So he becomes like a double agent trying to take down the order of warlocks and witches and stuff with magic.
I've been thinking about watching that one. That's another one that's on my to-do list that I just haven't got to yet.
Right, season 2 just dropped, so I haven't got a chance to watch season 2 yet. I'm like maybe 2 episodes away from finishing season 1.
How many seasons are there now? 2 of them, isn't there?
What with this one?
With the order?
Just 2 seasons.
Okay.
So you're able to binge it.
Behind, and being as a Netflix series, it's probably what 10 or 12 episodes a season.
It's like I want to say it's like 10 episodes, I think, or maybe 13, somewhere around that area.
Yeah, it's generally they don't normally do much more than 13.
Right.
So
to me, it's easier to binge. And they just released Unsolved Mysteries, which is like a six
I
episode.
I need to watch that. I want to see what they did with that. Because that was
same here as well.
I mean, you want to talk about, to date ourselves a little bit. You want to talk about being a 90s kid and having the holy hell scared out of you on just a normal syndicated television show. Play the Unsolved Mysteries music once. It is creepy as fuck.
It is. It really is creepy.
Like, I can hear that music in my head right now, and I'm getting goosebumps.
Same here.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to do real quick here before we really dove into the 101 is I wanted to give an update to our progress on YouTube. Oh, excuse me. And that is, this is our monetization progress for us to be able to start doing super chats. And I wanted to throw this out there so that way the viewers saw this. But we have 53 subscribers and we need 1,000, and we have 119 hours watched and we need 4,000. So, and we lost a couple of people because of not having any content the past week and a half or so, which is totally understandable. But we need to start, if you guys want to start doing super chats, I know this isn't a live video or anything, but you guys want to start doing super chats instead of trying to do Streamlabs, because I haven't even gotten any of them lately. If anybody's sending them in, I haven't received them. We need to start pumping these numbers up. Definitely.
If you believe in our channel, if you believe in Hotel Nerd and everything, if you want to support us, the audience actually has to go on ahead and try and watch as much stuff as we can, as you can, because we do have a lot of content up and everything, despite the fact that we haven't been on in a couple of days. You know, they there's content that they can go through just because we don't have no new episode up or anything like that. They can go through it, binge it, do whatever. Because
Yeah,
you do a bunch of.
And if you need help on Final Fantasy VII Remake, I have walkthrough videos about halfway through the game. I'm going to finish doing my first playthrough, well, actually my second playthrough now, and then do the last half of the walkthrough once I had the game completed. So that way people can see where they're going wrong and whatnot. Because that game gets to be a pain in the ass sometimes.
It does, depending on the puzzles and everything else that they have you doing, and the bosses that they have you fight.
Oh yeah, some of the bosses are a pain in the ass.
But it's all about strategy and how you bring them down, though.
Yep.
And how you have your potions, how you have your remedies, your Phoenix Downs, and everything else in place. It's all about who you want as your healer, who you want as your attacker, who you want and someone that's casting the spells.
I'll tell you right now, straight up, your healer, every time you have her, is going to be Aerith. Every single time. She is your white mage. I don't know why I keep coughing, but
it's all right.
But anyhow, on to the one-on-one. I guess first question right out of the gate is, what made you start doing podcasts and videos? Like, what was the trigger?
Okay, so what got me into doing this thing was AMC Movie Talk. John Campea, Chris Lee Kennedy, John Schnepp, all the OGs. Even I forgot what the other female host name is. I have her as my friend on Facebook and everything, but those were the OGs of AMC during that time. At that time too, it was also called Thank You for Your Consideration. They were actually in a broom closet doing YouTube videos. As a matter of fact, I actually got tired of seeing Movie Pilot and how bad the movie news was there with fake news articles. They were pretty much like, we got you covered. We got this covered from back in 2010. Then I'm like, you know what? I have enough passion in me to where I want to go on ahead and make YouTube videos. So I started doing YouTube videos, and after that, YouTube changed out their whole entire way of actually doing things, where you actually had to have 1,000 subscribers to do live videos. And for me, with my internet and everything, it takes at least 8 hours to upload one video. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do YouTube videos anymore. So I took a year off of doing YouTube videos. I'm trying to find a way to get back into doing YouTube videos, but at the time, one of my friends, who I'm not friends with anymore, who's actually who has his own podcast, was like, hey, why don't you go on ahead and try to do a podcast? So he told me about Anchor. I went on ahead and started doing Anchor on all my podcasts, on all audio only, of course, on Anchor. Today actually makes a year that I've been doing Anchor and podcasting. So I really am happy that I'm able to actually talk about that, because it's the 1-year anniversary of my podcasting channel. And also, I'm at 163 episodes of doing my podcasting as well.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I didn't even realize that today was the anniversary of your podcast, so kudos.
Thank you, man. I do appreciate that.
I guess us not being able to do it last week kind of worked.
Well, today is actually the anniversary day and everything, so I'm going to try and get Tamika to do a one-on-one on my channel pretty soon as an anniversary special. But, what I always do is, whenever I'm doing a podcast episode, I want something that audiences will actually click to.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know that the episode's not going to work, I don't do one. Because they can actually feel the energy. They can feel if it's working or not. And, sometimes I'll do about 3 or 4 different takes on something. I'm like, okay, this is just not working. So I just don't even do it. And if it's just one of those dull episodes because when I know it's dull and it's nothing, no actual stuff to actually talk about, I'll go on ahead and I'll go into the next day and I'll see what's on the news to actually cover.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll combine yesterday's news with today's news, and also too, I always try to find a topic to talk about as well, like Christian does,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And I always get my fans to pick a topic, or I get my friends to pick a topic, and I cover it that way.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be a pretty good model that he's put together there to be able to do something like that. I mean, it's like I said to Christian before when we really started getting some momentum underneath us, is that I don't know if he realizes it, but he's definitely a beacon for new content creators like us.
Right, he definitely is. And
Not to
if you
put the
think about it,
pressure on him or anything, but it's like it would have been if Schnepp would still be here. I'm sure Schnepp would be involved in FEN, and he would probably have his own show by now because of everything down at Collider. But I really, honestly think that between those two, they would have been the beacon for.
For sure. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if we had like a thing called SWN, Sweaty News Network, or something. SWN, or something like that, where he's talking about comic books, something on that level, But another person too is Campea. I mean, I know nobody really cares for Campea or anything like that, but he was the main reason why I got into it as deep as I did.
Yeah.
With doing YouTube videos at that time, because he was actually the only one. Well, the Schmoes was doing it too, but Campea was the first person I ran into as to doing this whole thing, because he was part of AMC Movie Talk.
Yeah.
So that's what made me want to do it more. And then, of course, whenever they introduced the Schmoes in 2013 or 14, that's whenever I went on ahead and followed the Schmoes.
Yeah, I mean, Campea, he's one of them people that I can deal with in interspurts. I just can't sit down and just like plow through day after day after day after day. Now, SEN, I can do that. Now, with that said, I haven't watched SEN in the past 2 weeks because everything has been in turmoil. So that's why I haven't been doing any donations or anything, because I haven't been watching because I don't have the time. So.
And I'm the same way too, though. I haven't watched SEN in like 2 weeks because of all the training that I'm having to do for my job.
Well, yeah, you're the same
or
boat.
listen to the podcast or anything.
You're the same boat.
So I haven't been able to do anything.
We both work in fields where, like this pandemic, when it ramps up, we feel it. You feel it first. I feel it on the second wave. Because you're
definitely
your first line of protection. I'm secondary, or even I go even one step further and say that I'm third in line, because me working in a hotel, I give hospitality to people. You are one of the essentials that give medical to people, whether or not you're
the supplies,
but you're behind the scenes pushing product.
Right. Exactly, because if it wasn't for my boss, I wouldn't have stuff to actually work with or anything. But I mean, I've been working in the hospital for 15 years, so I definitely feel the effects of it. But it's like by the time I get home, it's like I'm tired. But by the time I get home, and everything, I'm pretty much tired to the point where I'll just put a movie on for background noise and I'll try to go to sleep. But sometimes, even when I'm tired, I still pump out an episode on my podcast. But
yeah, but
it's fun.
You can suffer from burnout on that real quick, like that month stretch where we went from having nobody, and then all of a sudden Brett and Kate landed, and then Alex and Nerdtronic, and Schmoes in the North, and we were just pounding one guest right after the other every week, and it's like we got a head of steam here. Like they're about 5 weeks in. It's like, okay, I'm starting to burn out a little bit here. We need to pump brakes here.
Well, for me, I didn't really feel like I was needing to slow down. It actually made me feel like, okay, I need to keep going
Well, yeah, I
and
mean, I thought
everything
that too.
and
Like
give a
mentally in
reason.
my head, it's like you gotta keep the momentum going, but at the same time, on the physical level, it's like between work and taking care of the kids, which is one thing I have up to
Right,
do, is like being
right.
stretched in three different directions to do something. It's like, yeah, it's break time.
Yeah. And I get like that too. I mean, I skip a day and then after that I go the next day and I'll do an episode and then another day I do another episode and then rest again. But Tamika gets on to me all the time. She goes, "You need to rest." I was like, "I will." She goes, "Mm-hmm." And all of a sudden she sees that I'm having another episode. I thought you said you were going to rest. I said, "Well, there's a certain news story that just broke. I had to talk about it." So there's that.
Oh. Oh. I just lost my second question. So if you want to keep talking for a little bit, I have to reformulate. I have a J moment
Yeah,
on.
it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, another thing though too that I really have to say, I'm trying to a web. Well, Tamika opened up a web page on Wemix, I think it's called. But we opened up a web page for the movie lovers page. Of course, we're still doing WordPress with it. Of course, I'm doing the movie articles too, and she's doing the what to watch articles, which I need to start doing that too, and doing my own my reviews on there, putting them out. And I've been doing WordPress for almost a year, I want to say, because I started doing that. But I just now tagged on. So every single time when I'm doing something, I'm always doing something with Photoshop. You know,
Yeah, especially if
either
you're
I'm
doing
trying to figure
thumbnails.
out.
You're
Right,
by the way,
exactly.
you're
I'm
really
always
good
trying
at
to
doing
come up with a
thumbnails.
great. Thank you. I do appreciate it because I'm like some of it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just I find balance of how I want to actually make a thumbnail because the Vin Diesel one, I was like, okay, I know exactly how I want to do this because I was like, okay, I'm putting Michael Myers looking inside the car where Vin is, or I was gonna put the trolls looking in. And to me, I think the trolls stood out a lot more than Michael Myers did, and it actually worked. And that was the most fun. That's the fun one that I had. The one with Alex and I was like, you know what? We're hotel nerds. What if we did Shining mixed in with what we're doing?
Yeah.
So I used the hallway from The Shining and did that thumbnail.
Yeah, that one was
So it's all about
definitely
placement.
an interesting one.
You like that one the most, or?
I don't know. There's a couple of them that you've thrown out there, and I have to go back and look at them again. There's a couple of them you've thrown out there that I liked.
Yeah, I did the Final
There's
Fantasy
levels
one.
like that I liked it to a point, and then there's levels like it goes above. Kind
I'm
of like
sure that
Tommy
what
John's rating system of it's good with alcohol, and also
right. Right. I always try to be a little creative with our audiences can we have a little laugh before actually clicking on our video, you
yeah.
know, because I always like to fill the room with laughter. I've always been that person. I definitely have some positive energy, have some, let people laugh. But that's just how I am, though.
So what's next on your docket? Like, do you have anybody lined up for in the near future?
The only
Something you want to hold close to the vest at the moment.
Well, right now, Sunday, I've got uh, a critic from JoeBlow.com that's going to be with me, and we're going to be reviewing Boss, talking about how it impacted us as film fans. And we're also doing a horror movie review as well for this other movie that I forgot the name of it too because I didn't really care for it that much. But I'm going to stand on thunder on that part. But um, yeah, I'm gonna have James Oster from JoeBlow.com. He's gonna be on there. I've been trying to get the two actors that play on The Sopranos, Michael Imperioli, and I forgot the actor that played Bobby off The Sopranos because I actually have a podcast called Talking Sopranos. So I tweeted out to them just to see what would happen, but of course, nothing in response to that. But something actually happened when I watched 1984, summer of 1984, with that horror film I told you about.
Yeah.
The writer actually liked my tweet, and I wasn't even tweeting to him. I was tweeting to Film on the Rocks, which is this other podcast that I listen to, and he happened to see that, and he ended up liking it. So I messaged him, and he said that he would be down to do an interview, but probably not until like October. But I don't really have anybody lined up at the moment or anything like that. I've been trying to find more people to actually interview stuff like that. I interviewed uh, Rossi the other night. She's an independent film actress. I interviewed her, and then we did a couple other episodes.
All right. uh, have you found yourself a decent platform yet to do videos yet, or are you still looking to do that?
I'm probably going to try StreamYard since now it actually converted over to mobile for people like me who don't have a computer yet. So I'm probably going to try that out, see how it goes.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
And hopefully
talk
it does.
about it being it's brought up is they just did a major overhaul, like you said, mobile, which is nice because then if I want to put content out there, I don't have to be sitting stationary here in my studio bedroom situation. But I can be on the go and do videos, or if I'm out chasing, I can do videos, which I love that. Uh, Also, we can have 10 people in a video now. So that would be me plus
That's fantastic.
So really, with both of us on at the same time, we can have 8 other guests, which is awesome. And honestly,
That's
because
really
they're
awesome.
doing the streaming of the Schmoedowns, I wonder how that's going to affect that. I mean, because that kind of opens the door up now for doing like free for alls and stuff.
That's true. It does open up the doors for fall. I think maybe once that guest is done, they can go in and close out, and then the other guest comes in.
Yep.
And do it that way. But
so I was actually going to save the update for the last thing that we did today, but I mean, being that it did end up getting brought up in conversation, that's
right. That's fine.
That's awesome. I love.
But yeah. Same here as well. I'm probably going to do a test run tonight.
What's that?
I'm probably going to do a test run tonight just to see how it's going to go. See if Tamika's has anything going on.
Yeah, you have to let me know how it runs. See how many people you can get in there, and
I will.
My big worry is it going to lag? Are things going to lag? That's my concern.
That's mine too, though. I feel like the more people you have, it's going to lag right now until the bugs are worked out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll definitely.
But just for 2 people. Right. But just for 2 people or whatever, I think it'll be fine. Well, 4 people, it'll be fine. But for 9 people, I think that's a little oversaturated for it right now.
If you had to, it had to pick one thing. I'm trying to think how to word this proper. You had to pick one thing to say is the most difficult thing about doing podcast videos, running a group or a page. How would you rank it? Like, what's the worst and what's the best? Like the most stressful to the least
The
stressful.
worst would probably the worst would be trying to promote it, trying to find ways to promote a podcast, especially when it's just audio only. So luckily for me, I stumbled across a couple of groups that actually allowed promoting podcasts inside groups. I was able to do that. That's the worst it is, trying to get yourself out there to where people can gravitate towards that. The other thing would probably be the editing part. Whenever there's whatever Christian put down there when there's no sound coming from somebody else. Forgot. It's like dead air.
What's that?
So dead air is what I'm talking about. Like dead air.
Right air. Okay.
Like all of a sudden. And basically, I went in there. This is what happened whenever I had Wonder Meg on, and so we're doing a Wonder Woman review. I actually had to go into it and edit the part where it was actually dead air, and then after that combine the second segment in with that and try and glue that together. Because you actually have to crop it, and then you have to go ahead and do all that together. But it turned out after everything else was said and done, I enjoyed having Wonder Meg on.
Well, I
And
enjoy
as a matter of fact, she does
on.
unboxing.
Oh, go ahead.
I enjoyed having her on. As a matter of fact, she does unboxing for pops and things like that. And it was actually one of her characters, so I'm like, okay, let me see what happens if I can get her on or whatever. And so that's what happened. So
I would say probably I would agree with you. The most stressful part is doing the promotion stuff because that's pretty time consuming in and of itself. Especially when you have
not really that
like
part.
when we got Kate and Brett, like I can't tell you how many posts I put out there in general variety of places to get it out there and let people know that they were going to be on with us. And that in itself was time consuming. And not that I'm complaining because I'm not. It's just the self promotion in of itself isn't really my forte because I don't like. I'm that person that I like to sit in the back of the room. I don't like being the person up front on stage. I mean, it's kind of ironic because I'm hosting this, but uh, at the same time, I love talking nerd stuff. So I kind of try to blend the two together, and the promotional stuff makes me feel like I'm saying, "Hey, look at me," and I mean, really, in a way,
Right.
I am, but at the same time, I feel kind of uncomfortable about it. If that makes sense.
Well, it's all about trying to put yourself out there in the first place. I mean, otherwise, if we don't, there's not going to be anyone that comes to the channel.
Yeah.
But another thing too is that there's also another thing that, as well. You said that the promotions and everything was a hard thing, but you know, I always try to do it. Maybe I don't try to do it like 2 weeks beforehand. I always promote like a week beforehand,
Yeah, that's
so that
how
way it's
I've been
fresh in
trying to
people's
do it.
minds. Yeah, if you do it 2 weeks beforehand, it's like putting a trailer together for a movie that's going to come out in a month, for example.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to remember that trailer. So if you promotion for a guest you're going to have on 2 weeks or a week beforehand, a week beforehand, people are going to remember that you have a guest coming on. You might actually plan it. So you go on ahead, you drop a poster down, do a promotion for that. Then you, of course, you put in your hashtags, you put in all that stuff, you do your Instagram, and then you a couple days later you make it a part of your story, and then you do your promotions again, and then the day of I do one more reminder, and that's it. It's go time.
Yeah, I also like to put like
And I have to commence
90-minute mark. I like to put out another one saying, "Hey, in an hour and a half, this is what's going down."
right, and that's what I do too. I always try to include the guest that's going to be in there for the next time. But sometimes it's on a window. Sometimes I don't even know if people are even, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I'm going to have a guest, and all of a sudden they're like, "I want to be on." I'm like, "Okay, come on."
I haven't had
So,
that happen.
like, when did that happen?
I said I haven't had that happen yet.
Okay. Well, Frenchie, one night I was going through a news article. As a matter of fact, it was when the news about Michael Keaton might be Batman. And I was getting the news. As a matter of fact, I was doing my show notes. And then Frenchie messages me. He goes, "Hey, can I be on?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, come on." And he came on my show. We did the show together. As a matter of fact, that was also out of his norm though too, because he's not used to doing movie news. And so he wanted to try something different that was outside of his norm, and him and I just clicked to where we were doing the episode together. So that's actually pretty cool. Whenever people are just like, "Hey, can I be on the show?"
Yeah. Speaking of which, about Louis, I gotta say congrats to him on the video for being a new dad. The baby arrived.
Same here. Is that
last week? I think it was.
Yeah, last week.
Saturday night, I believe.
No, it was this week. Yes, Saturday.
I don't know. My weeks have run together. I just know that it was recent. It was in between our last episode and this one. So, but yeah.
Congratulations to Louis. I'm thrilled for him.
He's not going to get a lot of sleep for a while.
No, that's for sure.
At least for the next 18 years.
Maybe not after that either.
Yeah, because us podcasters and YouTubers, we're a different breed. We do shit at all kinds of random hours of the day.
Exactly. But yeah, I also do episodes while I'm in my car though too. I'll do like a riding with John episode on the podcast from when I leave my house until I get to work, which is like 15-20 minutes away. So 15 minutes podcast episode, put everything in, and that's it.
Yeah, see, I
used to do
get
those.
to work in about 10 minutes flat. So it really doesn't even really pay for me to even do anything.
That's true.
Or else I probably would be doing the same thing. That, and I know that I'm not a very good solo outing with content. I noticed that about me. Because I struggle mightily doing solo content. I need someone to play off of.
You see, I'm good with doing solo, and I'm good with doing collaborations though too. I guess because I've been doing it for so long that I actually know how to actually do it solo.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to by necessity, you can do it. It's just I'm very self-conscious about myself. It's just something that I've always struggled with growing up. Is I'm a very harsh judge on myself. That's why I don't like doing timestamps. I'd rather somebody else do timestamps over me because I hate the sound of my own voice.
I do too. I don't even go back and listen to my stuff because of that. Because I'm my own worst critic.
I would say probably
the good
about
news is I think I might
creators
find
are probably that way.
I can see that.
mean, how many actors do you hear that are like, "Oh yeah, I made this movie. Well, have you watched it?" No, because I don't like watching myself. Because then I'm gonna say, I could have done that.
Adam
I
Driver.
could have done that better. I could have said this line better, or you know. And I get it.
Adam Driver's the same way. He doesn't. Exactly.
mean, I know that was a big thing with the Dark Knight. Like in a way, I don't understand how. I mean, I do understand because there's money involved, and they're going to do it because of the money. But how they can go to premieres, and it's got to be very difficult to try to suspend your brain to be able to watch a movie like The Avengers. Could you imagine being Robert Downey Jr. and watching Avengers Endgame and already knowing what's coming? Like, it's got to be such
Exactly.
a letdown, like, just to see it. But I mean, I'm sure there's parts of him that was like the portal scene. Just actually see it in fruition, in full motion. Granted, I'm sure he probably seen it weeks prior to that.
Right.
That has to be one of the downsides to being an actor.
That's true, but you also get to see the final product on how it's actually together, how it's been done. But you also get to see the fans' reaction, and I think that's what's also pleasing to actors and actresses, though, too.
That's true.
Because if they go by the reactions of the fans, they're gonna be even more. They're gonna be happy that they put out a product that was really good.
I mean, to have a scene like the portal scene, or better yet, the Thor, the Captain America picking up the hammer, and then everybody losing their damn minds. Like that in of itself has to be like, as the actor that's on screen doing that, has to be insane to have that kind of reaction,
Right.
that kind of pop. Because I know you hear wrestlers talk about it all the time. Like when you make a big return or something, and the whole arena just goes off the rails, and it's just it takes all the nerves away, and they've said that it gives them energy and all that. It's like yeah, I can understand that.
I can see that, most definitely. So, do you have anything else you want to ask? I'm just wondering.
Well, I didn't know if there was any other topics you wanted to talk about. I was going to leave some time for you to basically have an open mic, and I was just going to sit back and just kind of let you talk about things if you wanted to.
Okay.
Because
let's see,
we're up here on an hour here.
Right. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I think we've covered just about everything that we needed to cover.
All right, and for anybody that hasn't heard it before, you're the reason why I'm actually doing this. You actually introduced me to. It wasn't AMC at the time. It ended up being Flyer, and you introduced me to that whole world of them talking movies and stuff. And it's like I always wanted to try to do it. I mean, we tried doing this before with YouTube when it was really crappy.
Yeah, with Google Hangouts, I remember that.
Yeah, Google Hangouts. Oh my God, Google Hangouts. Oh Jesus, God no. Streamlabs and StreamYard are so much better. As much as I fight with Streamlabs when I try to do stuff, I will take Streamlabs and I will take StreamYard any day of the week over Google Hangouts.
So, StreamYards and all the other streams that's out there, at least we can actually go into our settings and figure out what was wrong or what's going on with everything. With Google Hangouts, it's like, there it is, and that's it. There's no way of actually trying to figure out anything.
Yeah, you can't. edit anything or make banners or like the technical snafu that we had right before we started here. It was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what's wrong. And boom, 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 done. It was like,
Right. Google Hangouts is probably the first screen thing that we had at that time.
yeah, I think they pretty much were the only name in town at the moment. And unless you were a big conglomerate like
But
you were stuck.
right.
So, but not to cut this short, but I have to start slowly getting around for work tonight. I have a full house that I'm walking
All right.
tonight. So,
All right. That's understandable, man.
if you want to do your plugs, you're more than welcome to now. And I'll put your banner up.
Okay. So you guys can go ahead and follow me at Movie Loves Unite, TV Loves Unite on Facebook. You can also follow me on Instagram at Movie Loves Unite, TV Loves Unite, John DeGorio 85. You can actually follow me on Twitter, John DeGorio 85, and also on Movie Lovers Unite, TV Loves Unite on, well, actually Movie Lovers Unit on Twitter. And that's pretty much it. And of course, you can also follow us on Wimix and also on WordPress. So there's that. If you ever want some movie news, go on ahead and follow us on there. Tamika puts up some great content when it comes down to blogging and stuff. She does a fantastic job with that. And she also does some motions with the posters and everything too. So I actually have to give her a big shout out for that.
All right. Yeah, we need to get her on. There's two people I want to get back on here. There's three people. One, I want to get on here for the first time, and we're working on it. And two, that there's two that I want to get on here that we're working on, and one that we need to get back. And I want to get Tamika back because she's a riot. Like she's just funny as hell. Especially the rabbit holes that we do.
Who's that?
I said Tamika. She's funny as hell, especially the rabbit holes that we go down.
Oh yeah, most definitely. She's a blast to beat.
She's a good rabbit hole burrower.
She's great.
Especially the Toy Story rabbit hole that we went down.
Oh yeah, but you know what though? You need to listen to Frenchie's and our top 10 animated movies. You don't want to talk about a rabbit hole. That thing was funny.
All right, and as for me,
anyway,
go ahead.
No. Go on.
No, I was just gonna do my plugs. You got something else to say? Go ahead.
Go Go on ahead.
All right. Somehow I think we can make this a bit. Kind of like this could be our you don't know shit bit.
Right, I think so too. Because I forgot what I was gonna
say. All right, and as for me, like always, I mean, social media platforms, everything's Hotel Nerd. You can just look up Hotel Nerd, Facebook, Twitter. I have a what the hell they call it, Snapchat now, which I'm slowly figuring out. I think I might even have an Instagram. I don't remember if I signed up for that one or not. I don't know. My brain's fried after the past 2 weeks, so just bear with.
It's okay.
On Twitter, it's at hotel_nerd86. Just keep helping and support the channel. We need donations. I'll say that much. We need donations. We need more subscribers. We need more public hours watched. If you want to do super chats directly to us, and we'd be able to see them here while we're doing the streams live and not have to go to a secondary source, because we're not anywhere remotely close, as you can tell, to being able to do this. And we have until January to get these numbers pumped up. because that's when we need to January 1st. We need to hit these numbers. So the only way we can do that is by you guys watching and by subscribing and by sharing and getting the word out. But otherwise, I have nothing else to say. John, I don't know if you got your thought back. If you want to.
Nah, I'm good.
No?
I'll come back.
All right.
No.
But also at the end of the video now, I'm not even going to really name all the places that we have for our podcast anymore, the audio version, because there's too many to name now. So I just made a list that I put up at the end of every video. And you can find your favorite provider there and look for us on your favorite provider. That's not the only thing I can really say unless you want me to be here in 5 minutes. So, but with that, thank you, John. I know it was kind of impromptu.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you for having me.
off the cuff. But, I mean, we've been promising this, for now, 2 months? And...
yeah, about 2 months, and it just seems like
it's just...
now it's the right time.
Every time shit happens, and so... But we got it. It's done. It's in the can. It'll go.
Yeah, we did.
So... But, have a good day.
All right.
Have a good holiday.
You too.
Don't blow off any fingers or hands or anything else. So, but on that note,
you too, man.
Yeah, peace out. Enjoy the holiday.
All right. You have a good holiday too, man. All right.